Welcome people, and by people, I mean the two people who will actually be on this plane from Shadow Tiger Airlines on a direct flight from LAX to NYC. And you may be wondering, how did you get on that plane? Well, that part doesn't really matter, as you're stuck on here until we land. Fortunately, I'll be in like an hour or so. While we wait, we might as well put something up on that little screen set in front of you. And yes, there is a reason I chose an air service over a boat service. Actually, it's because of this video. This video is about Sharknado, the 6-part film series about two things that don't naturally mix. Sharks and tornadoes. Much like Hawk Tour, it was funny once and then became obnoxious, but was still peddled for 5 more movies. I wanted to watch all the Sharknado movies because sharks are my second favourite animal. If you can guess what the first one is, you get a singular Hawk Tour coin. The notes I use from these videos are all from my first viewing of these movies, except from Sharknado 5 and 6, which I've watched and always wanted the full context for, and it boils down to me being a huge alternate history enjoyer and knowing about Alternate History Hub and a spin-off channel, Pointless Hub, which ended up being the gateway to Sharknado and the video you're watching today. And I avoided watching that video ever since I had this idea, one December 15th. 2024, so on Christmas Eve, I sat down and watched every movie in a row. And let me be honest, this video won't be as funny as Cody's, but I still try my best, and this what I think is the most comprehensive guide to Sharknado media on all of the internet. So relax, put this on before you go to sleep, study, whatever you feel like, because it's time we talk SciFiMovies, sharks. Basically, Sharknado the series, created by Sci-Fi Films, and more importantly, Asylum Productions, which in between the two of them created fun movies like Trollland or Abraham Lincoln vs. Zombies. Sharknado 1 ended up making like 200,000 USD from the box office as only 200 screenings occurred. Has an estimated earning of 50 million USD, which does mean it at least made more money than the 2019 Cats movie. Estimations for the whole franchise range from 700 million to 4.5 billion USD, but we cannot be sure as no public figures have been released. But if the higher estimate would be believed, that would mean Sharknado is the 16th or 17th most highest grossing film franchise, making more money than the Twilight Saga, which made 3 billion, and all of the Mission Impossible films, which made 4.1 billion. Do you know what kind of masterpiece could make 4.5 billion? Well, you're going to have to find out, and that means we are watching the first movie right now. So, Sharknado 1 opens on a boat 20 miles off the coast of Mexico, where there are 3 irrelevant people. Captain Santiago, this guy, and the boatman. Santiago and the guy are bartering over the price of fish. Santiago saying he should receive 1 million for it all as there is a massive storm, but he still did the job, whereas the other guy only wants to pay him 50,000. At this point, Santiago pulls out a gun and threatens the other guy. Next, sharks rain from the sky and everyone is dead. Don't worry though, as we cut to Santa Monica Beach where our main man, Finn, played by IanZiering, is out surfing. Another hard cut to an establishing shot of the sunniest day ever, above Santa Monica's pier, zooming in on Finn's bar, where we meet 2 other main characters, Nova and, George. Now, George is an interesting fellow, and by interesting, I mean attempts to,
Got some moves, you know, man.
Hey, what did I tell you? You can touch.
Everyone plays it as a classic George moment. Back to Finn, who is surfing at the best visibility on the open ocean, when Finn's friends get jumped by the shark, making the first shark-induced casualty of the film. Finn's other, still alive friend, Baz, is handedly saved. Fast forward to the pier, getting bodied by the storm, and the gang runs out of Finn's bar. The gang, which is basically Nova, George, Baz and Finn, decide to meet up with Finn's ex-wife April to save his children. And maybe save April, but we don't really know if Finn cares about her yet. Chat, I'm recording this in post, but as I've been editing this, I've realised how much the scenes look like they've been shot on like the clearest day ever. Actually have a look, I'll just put some examples up on the screen right now, but like, do you agree? Anyway, yeah, back to the actual... It's revealed that George is a creep, which we definitely didn't know before, because he says that he plans to marry Nova when the storm is over. Let me be honest, this movie is not that interesting compared to the other ones, so let me skip through this. People are trapped in a hole in the floor as some water comes, so George sacrifices himself to save a dog from the impending storm. I'm pretty sure everyone else survived. They reached April and she started to crash out at the house because I don't know why she did. And then In the house is where we meet Finn's daughter, Claudia, and April's boyfriend, who is also irrelevant because,
And even if it is, Beverly Hills emergency services are second to none. Something's on my foot! Finley! Help me! Finley!
So after this, April and Claudia go with the gang to save Finn's son, Matt, who is now in flight school, which is really on low ground, so they need to scoop him up. Finn rescues some school children, then they have a police chase, where they press the nitrous button and speed off into the sunset. They pull up at the flight school and go to save Matt. In the flight school, they break in, save Matt from the flight cupboard. They all head to a hardware store, where a chainsaw is bestowed upon Finn, and Baz makes a makeshift bomb out of a gasoline can, like they do in the hit 2019 movie Cats, featuring Taylor Swift and Idris Elba. The ultimate plan? Fly the helicopter from the flight school into the eye of the Sharknado and throw the bombs, because that makes sense. Like, helicopters obviously don't get ever damaged by tornadoes. To help the helicopter group do this, Finn needs to fend off the sharks using his trusty pistol and chainsaw. The helicopter gang in the eye of a hurricane crashes out, never gets eaten by a shark. It's up to Finn, who has to nitrous into the storm and blow up the car with the gasoline, probably dying in the process. Baz gets eaten by a shark as well, just to keep everyone aware. Anyway, back to main character Syndrome Finn, who drives into the storm to sacrifice himself to the shark gods, which are really part of the lore, just trust me, this is coming later. He jumps out the car and lives, because Finn is the main character. Claudia, Finn's daughter, is about to get eaten by a shark, but Finn nobly sacrifices himself for her. Oh, hold on! Finn never dies. He chainsaws out the shark like the alpha he is, and along with him, he drags out Nova, who gets brought back to life. April, who was there the whole time, by the way, sees how Sigma Finn is, and decides to get back together. The credit roll, and Finn finishes. I know I read it there. Luckily, that was the only... Wait, no.
Get everybody to safety!
Come on, everybody, let's get away from the window.
There were 5 more whole 1 hour and 30 movies. Please give me a second to consider my life choices. Oh gosh, I spent the airline budget on watching Tyler the Creator live, didn't I? Okay then. After the success of Sharknado 1, our main people, Thunder11 and Anthony C. Ferrente, decided they needed to get into that gold that they smelt, so they started working on a sequel, Sharknado 2, that released in 2014, a year after the first one came out, on a budget of $2 million US. Much like the first one, and also much like the first one, no official statement on the revenue of Sharknado 2 has been publicly released. I don't want to yap about the production side much, but yet again, Thunder11 did write the script and Anthony C. Ferrente did direct the film. And the movie itself starts with April and Finn are on the flight to the setting of all good sequels, New York City, when a Sharknado forms and crashes the plane. Like what magically happens in the 2019 movie Cats, featuring Taylor Swift and Idris Elba. Well, magically, Finn is fine, but April is rushed to the hospital and is told to stay there until she fixes her broken arm.
Helicopters in the air with firebombs so they can throw them into the tornado.
Okay, I can see you're upset.
I'm not crazy. You gotta alert the city.
Finn's sister, who they went to New York City to meet, Lauren, is with her daughter Gemini, seeing the Statue of Liberty before Finn lands. Lauren's husband hates Finn, and no one wants them to connect, so they both have to go to a baseball game together. Yay! Finn decides he has to save Lauren's husband, so he speed runs to the baseball stadium, cuts to the game where Lauren's husband's son, who's not relevant, so I don't really care about his name, Sky, someone from Finn's old school, Lauren's husband and a Mets fan, Fred, are all watching the game. Sharknado gets taken out to the ball game and tries to hit a home run. Luckily, Plot Armor Man makes it in time and saves Martin, that's Lauren's husband's name. Lauren and Gemini are attempting to escape Liberty Island. That doesn't really matter too much right now, as Fred, Sky, Finn, Martin and Son are on the subway. But that's like the worst place to be when water starts flooding in. Fred makes a noble sacrifice to save the rest of the group, but it happens off screen, so... Well, that'll be important later, chat, trust me. Finn and company goes to the hardware store to buy chainsaws and bomb supplies, whilst April breaks out of the hospital because other workers ran out the hospital, leaving the poor patients to die due to the flooding and the storm. Lauren and the daughters meet up with the other people, Finn, Sky, Martin, etc. And now there are 2 Sharknadoes, which upon convergence will destroy all of New York City, so that's just splendid. Finn's light bulb moment is to throw more bombs into the storm. I mean, it worked last time, right? Finn is such a smart guy. Finn turned one of the Sharknadoes into a fire Sharknado. Lucky for New York, Finn is a shark wizard and knows exactly how to defeat the Sharknado. So what he does to do is to ditch the bomb plan and instead throw a vat of liquid nitrogen on it. That seems sensible. Him and Sky go up the Empire State Building with a trusty chainsaw that was given to him by New York's mayor. Finn does shark fighting and slices the shark in half. Then the freeze tanks are set off and spray into the Sharknado, slowly freezing it and destroying it. And this is kind of a real thing, even though this is a silly video about sharks, tornadoes, and Sharknadoes. Well, tornadoes in real life are formed when the warm air punctures the cold and less dense air, creating kind of vortex, and scientifically, Finn here is trying to stabilize it by adding more of one kind of air, which would collapse the Sharknado. Do not know if it would be a viable way to just slap out any tornado. Like if we were, say, there was a storm coming in, or if there was a storm coming in, could scientists just spray it with liquid nitrogen and then collapse it? I'm gonna leave the scientists to figure that one out, actually. Back to the movie. Before the Sharknado is destroyed, Sky dies, but not before saving New York City. Finn jumps on a shark. As the Sharknadoes converge over the Empire State Building, the nitrogen tanks explode, destroying the tornadoes. Finn is still on the roof of the building, but luckily he's A-OK on the roof. April makes it in time with a brand new cyborg arm and a larger love for Finn than before, which is kind of surprising. On the roof, Finn proposes to April. And then the movie cuts to black. In case these are the only shots I see today, this is our final message to the world. I think that's a shark, and that one there's a shark. I don't actually know, it says something about loads of sharks over there. So, I'm assuming these are the only shots I get to see from A37. No sharks in sight, but we do have, hold on, cardinal tetras.
Oh, the tetras are cute.
They are. Look how cute they are. Oh, that's cool. Oh, there's even cuter ones down at the bottom, flipping around in the snow. And oh, this is. I like this. Sorry, my recording me. This is so weird. Sharks? Sharks? That sounds mad at this point. Sharks.
Oh, there's big babies down there.
I know that's where the photo of the shark was taken that I saw on their website through that tunnel. So maybe we get to that tunnel and we see a shark. Whoa. That's a big catfish. So, yeah. Okay. We have it. We're gonna go find the sharks. Trust me. I think that might count as a shark, by the way. That thing's back down there. Okay, chat. We're doing some fish learning now. These famous fish, right? They actually spit a pellet of water out where?
Is it?
They spit.
Archerfish?
Yeah, what do they spit out there? A pellet of water. A special groove in their mouth.
Yeah.
To hit targets outside the water to knock them into water to eat them. I learned that myself, definitely not via any helpful signs. Hey, we're doing some frogs at least, even though I have people to play
Oh, they're cute.
yeah. I mean, I was going to originally get some dark frogs, but the guy from Minecraft. But yeah, let's go to actually find some sharks. I put all the turtles in there for Jeffrey. Where's Jeffrey? There's a turtle. There's Jeffrey. We're gonna go down and see Jeffrey. Right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what are you doing, Dan? That's a big fish. That's a really big catfish. Oh, really? It's Finding Nemo. Chat, it's Finding Nemo. Hark the herald angels sing, Jesus born today. Oh, there's a shark! It's a shark! Shark, do stay next to him on top of us. I saw. There it is! What the heck are you? You don't look like a shark. Oh my gosh, have I been scammed? Have I been baited? Hey sir. You're sleeping. Right, mate. You're the most realistic shark I've ever seen. He's more realistic than any of the Sharknado movies. Oh my gosh. It's real. Shark. See, Shark is that inside my book. I'm a little angry boy today.
He's angry.
I'm a massive boy there with this one. Say something. If you ask me really politely, I can say that is a shark. Like, I mean, I need to figure out what kind of shark. But like, pretty boy. I wish it told me what kind of animals are in this tank. It just doesn't. I feel like it's a scam. Thing. Oh my gosh, you look more and more. Oh, just, yeah. I didn't want to see it. As soon as I let my finger just hide.
He does it in such a way that you see it.
The laps of the tank is just to avoid us. Come on, tell me what it is. Oh, Jackson. That's our shark!
That's the one that we
The thing! Finally, we've seen a Port Jackson shark. My life is complete. Okay. You may think we're going to jump straight into Sharknado 3, but hold on. Talking about these movies has made me want to crack open the old pilot's manual, which I haven't read yet. Like, what's the need to? Oh, that isn't the pilot's manual. That's the book. A Guide to How to Survive Sharknadoes, The Reason Why Finn is Famous, is a real book, selling for around 10 UK Great British pounds, is 244 pages long, and released on the same date as Sharknado 2 was, so we're gonna have to check it out in its own section here. But the archive.org page, which are only the first 13 pages, and if we get 100 likes here, I'll actually buy the physical book and review it. The only reason I haven't bought it is that I spent all my YouTube money seeing Tyler the Creator live. So, page 5 says this is about ways to fight back when monsters and Mother Nature attack, showing 4 symbols, one of a Sharktopus, a 2010 movie by Asylum, the second symbol is just of a volcanic eruption, the third one is of sharks falling down from the sky, and the fourth one is an odd flying horse sign, which doesn't seem to relate to any prior Asylum or sci-fi movies. After the real copyright page, it shows a page of dedication to Baz, George, and April's boyfriend, who still does not get a name. The contents page, which obviously has full entries later on, has multiple Asylum and sci-fi movie references, such as the Sharktopus, Piranaconda, Pterotuda, and RoboCrog. Unfortunately, or fortunately, none of these series of movies don't have many direct references to be in the same universe as Sharknado, which separates it from what we're going to talk about now. Archie Comics was a company founded in 1939 to create during the superhero golden age, and was more notably the publisher of the Sonic comics. Was more notably the publisher of the singular Sharknado comic called Archie vs. Sharknado. Also happens to be a very long comic, which I'll review right now. Also, I almost got a virus finding the comic online, so thank me. So the comic starts out with a protest in Washington DC, where we meet a senator whose kids are trying to get their dad to protest the government trying to destroy all the sharks. The black-haired sister hates the sharks, however, as they destroyed a bunch of shopping malls, which is a terrible reason to hate a thing, but that doesn't stop some people. The sisters go off sightseeing, so let me just skip forwards, as some of this is actual spoilers for the next movie. The dad gets his hand bitten off by sharks, so the girls go on a shark rampage. Goes over to Archie, who visits up a woman in LA by fighting sharks. Then the sharks get Sharknadoing. They break into their school dance, where they're singing the Sharknado theme tune. I haven't talked about the Sharknado theme tune yet, have I? Let me finish this up, then I'll get to that. As the Sharknado runs through. Then the other girls fall in through the roof somehow. They grab chainsaws and start killing off the sharks. Lots of action, and then Archie throws a bomb into the Sharknado, where it all destroys itself, flattening fishmongers. Okay, that's the end of the Sharknado related books. But before I actually get into the section, I want to talk about the theme song, because there's a unique Sharknado theme song that plays throughout every single movie as the opening credits, and each opening credits has its own little animation team, I'm pretty sure. So I'll put a few of them up. I'll actually play a montage right now.
It's your greatest flow. Don't wanna get eaten by Sharknado.
Yeah, I held my voice for that long. Anyway, it's the start of the non-Sharknado related movie. Quick fun fact before I tell you the name. The main character, Colton, was played by the person who was originally going to play FinShepard. Anyway, the third movie we are talking about isn't Sharknado 3, it's Lavalantula from 2015, a separate film in the same universe as Sharknado. Whereas we are unsure if Sharktopus and the others are canonical, Lavalantula is canonical in the Sharknado universe. As I already have lost my brain watching 9 hours of Sharknado, I'll say this up front. I didn't bother to watch Lavalantula or its sequel, but I've pulled the plot from the Wikipedia and Sharknado wiki entries. Okay, so speedrun time. Lavalantula focuses on the actor Colton West, and as I haven't watched it, I'll just speedrun the plot, as I literally just said. Colton argues with the film director and storms off. He drives off, but as he drives off he sees the Santa Monica Mountains erupt, spewing lava around him, which at that point, I'd drive away. And he doesn't. Out of the mountain comes a lava-spitting spider, and then he just drives casually over to his wife who lives nearby, to pack up so they can go find his son, who ran from the house under the pretense he's going to a British football game, because that is the only correct type of football. In reality, Colton's son, Wyatt, went to find the source of the spiders, a massive sinkhole. Colton's car gets damaged by a lava sinkhole, meaning he has to hitchhike on a tour bus full of people. Colton commandeers the bus and ditches the driver, but a spider jumps in front of the bus and he runs it over, but its acidic blood dissolves the bus's front. Colton meets up with his friend Pirate Jack and decide the only way to defeat the spiders and get the volcano is to try kill the queen spider that lives inside the volcano. Pirate Jack gets killed, etc, etc, etc. Wyatt climbs onto a warehouse roof to escape the spiders, and Colton decides the only way to defeat them is using liquid nitrogen. What they do is send bombs of liquid nitrogen into the queen's nest and detonate them, driving the spiders out. And when the queen exits, Colton blows her up with liquid nitrogen. Again, liquid nitrogen, 2 wins in a row. Movie over. Oh, and as promised, Finn does have a role in the movie. It's the complete uncut scene.
Everybody, get off the street! Hey! West! No! That's shotgun!
I know you're from... Look, you gotta get off the streets. There's giant spiders everywhere.
I'd love to help you, but I got shark problems right now.
Yeah! I knew. I said I wouldn't watch it, but Wikipedia never mentioned when the cameo was, so I just kind of skipped through it. The scene doesn't even make sense in the context of Finn's character. If this movie is set after Sharknado 2, it could make more sense that Finn wouldn't help fight to save Santa Monica. Hold on, it totally does make sense because that's what he does in Sharknado 1, and he also does something similar later on in Sharknado 4. This cameo is really up to me, but let me stop jabbering and get to Sharknado 3. Oh hell no. It's what an idiot would say! There was one last spin-off, Sharknado, the video game, for iOS. We have one little problem. It was completely removed from the iOS/Apple store, and for good reason. The Sharknado video game rode off the back of Sharknado 2's success. It was an endless runner akin to Temple Runner or Subway Surfers, and I can only find around 10 gameplay clips online. It features you as the hit character FinShepard running through the city, killing sharks to add to this counter at the side of the screen. Along with running along the street, you could be surfing on the water or riding a Sharknado. The game was linear in the sense that you started off running in the street, then in the water, then after grabbing a chainsaw item you teleport into the Sharknado, and then the premium currency of this game is called Chum, which would have allowed you to revive Finn if he died to the sharks. Actually, PewDiePie has actually played this game, so I want to just play a few clips of his video so you get the vibe of the Sharknado game.
I've seen the title and I felt like, yeah, that's enough. There's a movie about sharks in a tornado, in case you didn't guess that. Let's check it out. Oh! What a great start to a game. He's trying to break my high score. What is this? Oh, I ran through the shark. Wait, I'm surfing! On a pink... My ears are bleeding! Whoa! Alright! Chainsaw all those Sharknados! Was that the Statue of Liberty's head? What the? Oh god, I hit the Statue of Liberty. Whoa. This GIF animation has like almost 4 images in it.
Okay, last thing is the rewards of this game, which is 2 things. Either the unlockable stages or the rideable sharks. Seemingly you have to beat it each stage to unlock a new card. And each Sharknado you killed adds your shark bonus count, letting you unlock sharks. Okay, no more funny business, it's time for Sharknado 3, oh hell no. The movie opens up with a Finn James Bond rip-off scene with a chainsaw plus other keywords to make a tension spike. Actually, to be honest, like this deep in the movie, it doesn't really matter how many keywords I shove in here. Only real dedicated people are watching.
FinShepard!
Okay, Sharknado 3, Finn is in Washington DC to meet the President and receive the Medal of Freedom. It's the highest medal that can be given by the President. And who is our President? Well, it's American businessman and pro-shark Mark Cuban. The first and only time an American businessman was the US President, and that's not the only almost odd celebrity feature in this Sharknado installment. After he gets the award, we go to the after show where Finn and Martin are mingling with US government heads. Sharks, well, they would have paid Mark Cuban for this movie not to fight sharks. So Finn and Mark go to the presidential bunker, which, by happenstance, also happens to be filled with sharks. Well, let's take a break from Finn the Shark Wizard and go over to Universal Orlando. Over in Universal Orlando, you'll have a great time like April, who is pregnant, Claudia, who is still Finn's daughter, and Grandma. Claudia and her friends have 3 day passes at Universal. Oh, look at all the fun they're having at Universal. OMG. Wow, much fun. You know what Universal Studios also did? Distributed the hit 2019 movie Cats, featuring Taylor Swift and Idris Elba. I'm onto Universal Studios. It's all interconnected. Anyway, I've witnessed so much death via the Sharknado films. I've wondered that if anyone in the Sharknado movie has ever died of old age. Anyway, back to Finn, who realizes the Washington DC Sharknado is heading for Universal, and that's where his family is. Somebody needs to stop it. If only we had a shark wizard god to help us out. Anyway, along the way from Virginia to Orlando, his car crashes down. As far as I remember, in South Carolina. As he tries to fix the car, an Alpha truck pulls up, and who's inside? Skull Mask person starts slicing the Sharknado, and they pull their mask off. It's time for a guessing game. Welcome to the guessing game. Guess who it is. Guess who's inside the mask. Is it A, Nova, B, another celebrity, C, Nigel Farage, D, George, or E, Sky? Well done, chat. It's A, and if you got it wrong, you legally have to like the video. You literally don't get a choice. Anyway, Universal glazing time. This movie features a lot of Universal glazing. Okay, let's skip forward a bit. Nova talking to Finn about how she wholeheartedly believes that the Sharknadoes are caused by a vengeful shark god who is upset with humanity. No, we don't get an explanation. Yes, the Shark God comes up a few more times in this series. And no, he is not a big antagonist in the last movie with like a boss bar. Wow, my voice really slurred there. Anyway, Finn, as he flies over a racetrack, realizes his true purpose, destroying the Sharknado to save NASCAR. Then the plane crashes and they return to the surface without clothes on them. Finn and company go and hide inside the Universal Globe, which gets rolled around the park, crushing Sharknadoes. So here's the plan, chat. Finn needs all the Sharknadoes to merge, because it would be harder to defeat 100 smaller ones than one large one that can wipe off the East Coast off the map. The way to destroy this massive storm? Space lasers. Lucky Finn's dad, Gilbert, happens to be a NASA employee, and now all the Sharknadoes are merged into a wall the size of the East Coast. Finn walks heroically to the rocket as the song Badass is playing loud in the background. The team in the spaceship, Finn, Gilbert, and the still pregnant April. They fly into space and then they realize they need to reboot the satellite, and the way to do this is to sacrifice yourself. Gilbert gives a monologue, and like many other David Hasselhoffs before him, jumps into space. Talk about famous people in this movie, Jared Fogle.
The pants of Jared Fogle of Subway.
By eating fresh at Subway, I'm making healthy habits.
No, I'm not going to say anything else. Let me be honest, this is the new Sharknado trope. We get what seems like the climax of a movie, and then boom! We're going to a new Sharknado whatever part 2. Well, there's an even bigger event. Happens and tries to destroy Finn, except Finn can't die because he is God and gets 5 big booms. Sharks are now magically in space. Guess he really jumped the shark this time. Badoom-ching. This is the first time I made this pun, I promise. Finn has an epic space fight with his laser chainsaws. At this point, April gets eaten by a shark, but Finn is racing after her, and in the actual pod, the shark acts as a re-entering pod. To be honest, she would probably die, but the Sharknado protected her. But that isn't how gravity works, maybe. Yes, I originally wrote some context for this scene, and no, I'm not going to give you that context anymore. Gil is now our main character, Trust. Oh, and April will get potentially crushed by a falling part of the rocket ship, and then it finishes. Okay, before we go to numero 4, let's talk about Sharknado 3. So it costed around $2.4 million to make. Funnily enough, Steve Guttenberg, who played Colton West, cameoed in this movie. Last time it ended on a cliffhanger, so what Thunder Levin and the brilliant marketing team behind Sharknado decided to do was put it up on Twitter, now known as X, basically saying, hey, should we let this mother survive this desperate, evil, world-ending event, or should we kill her off and rampantly change the course of the franchise? We're talking about Twitter here, chat. Guess what they picked? And no, it wasn't the one where she lives. Anyway, Sharknado 4 time, right? Sharknado The Force Awakens was released nearly a year after Sharknado 3. Last time it ended on a cliffhanger. Though let's see if Twitter, the platform known for being stable, chose to save the poor mother. We don't find out immediately, but we do get a scrolling Star Wars type screen, which tells us this.
It's been 5 years since the last Sharknado, and there is a new company called AprilWexler, which makes ways to stop the Sharknadoes from forming. The company is successful, but the future is threatened once again.
Meet Aston Reynolds, the CEO of a large company dedicated to helping people, which doesn't seem like it makes too much money, but somehow he is a multi-billionaire, which is probably bad timing, with me watching it in December and all. Aston announces Shark World in Las Vegas, and let me tell you, this is where the franchise goes off the rails. April died, don't trust Twitter, and Finn is going for a family reunion in Las Vegas, baby. I wonder if the destruction path that Finn trails will show up here. Hint, it definitely will. Hey, what's the chance that as soon as Finn gets to Las Vegas, Shark World will get a tornado to crash into it? Well, it's not a tornado actually, it's a dust devil. Despite Astro X's only thing is destroying tornadoes before they occur, every piece of technology just decides that Dust Devil is not a tornado with sand in it. Sharkwell gets dumped into a tornado, which isn't that good, making the regular tornado, Sharknado, like the movie name. Anyway, as the shark world is filled with water, it's flooding time. They jump on the infamous Las Vegas pirate ship to escape. So Astro X saved Gilbert from the moon and employed Finn's daughter Claudia to be his personal assistant person. Now we cut to a random lab where a mad scientist is working on something, and all of a sudden, April walks in. Wait. Dust Devil Sharknado forms and is heading for Finn's home in Kansas. So basically Finn needs to get home, and quickly. Astro X's CEO, Aston Reynolds, may be evil. Who could have guessed? But this guy, it's me. I had it on my notes way beforehand. Back to April, who's in a random garage doing workout stuff. Anyway, we don't care about April despite her supposedly being dead. Because Finn and Matt, Gemini, and Matt's fiancé are going on a road trip. Where to? Texas. We find out there's multiple shark tornadoes around the US, and Finn wants to stop them all, because of course he does. Now, you are 3 points away from the $1 million grand prize. Get this question right, and you gain a point. So, the Sharknadoes in Texas fly through and pick up a lot of what? A. Jared Fogels. B. Oil. C. Bucky's. And D. Cows. Well, it was B. Oil. Funnily enough, the oil Sharknado creates an oil fire, making it an oil fire Sharknado. And yes, I will continue to add adjectives, and that includes when it hits the power line, making it an oil fire electricity Sharknado. And technically, if we added the dust and rocks of the Dust Devil, which I'm still not sure if it's a separate storm, but you could call it an oil, rock, sand, electric Sharknado. I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to April and the scientist guy. The scientist guy told April Finn was dead, so she didn't go looking for him. As I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, she is now a full 4K carbon steel robot. The Astro X HQ happens to be about to be destroyed by a few different Sharknadoes, so when April escapes its luck, she runs into Gilbert and Claudia. Then they drive off. Finn plays that one song really loud in the car again, and we hear the TV with the Chicago mayor saying, "I will hunt you down, FinShepard." Like, calm down, he only basically calls all the Sharknadoes. Talking about FinShepard, he is always prepared, and he gets to Gil, where they both, and Gemini, hide in a barn as one of the storm comes through, but whoops up the entire barn with them inside to get picked up by the tornado. It's a separate tornado than the oil, fire, rock, sand, electric Sharknado, so just we are on the same page. The Sharknado then crashes out in Chicago, spitting the barn out, which accidentally lands on the Chicago mayor person. Luckily, the Sharknado respects the US-Canada borders and doesn't cross it. Even once in this or the subsequent movies. Like, literally, the next movie is about international Sharknadoes. Just go north. Sharknado, it isn't that hard. Luckily for the fire Sharknado, Astro X gets its stuff together and blows up near Mount Rushmore. That means only one Mega Spinjitzu Sharknado is left, and how do we defeat that? Wait. How do we defeat that? It's radiated now, chat. How do we defeat that? You know? It's impossible. You know what's also impossible? April finds Finn and Gil and reveals that she died, and she was revived as a 99% robot. Anyway, back to the main issue. The radiated tornado with one of the ways to beat it being using a lot of water and a quantum engine to destroy it. Where in the US and nowhere else has enough water to do this? Niagara Falls, obviously. I mean, the Canadians aren't going to argue, as the tornado is respectful to the white picket fence they have set up between the two of them. Anyway, Aston Reynolds is the alpha and will save us from the Sharknado. Like, for once it's going to be someone other than Finn who's going to save the world from the Sharknado, and oh, there he goes. Hope he has fun with that one. Anyway, we have 25 more minutes of the film to go, so speedrun time. Finn decides he's going to save the world again. Claudia gets eaten by a shark, yum. Then Finn and April are heading into the storm. Finn in a mech suit and April doesn't get radiated. Matt gets shark defeated again, and Gil is locked in a barrel and sent into the Sharknado by accident. And that quantum thing is activated with all the water falling up into the Sharknado, and then the Astro X finishes off the Sharknado. And Gemini is also getting eaten up by a shark while all this is happening. Finn's suit crashes as a great white lands on him, crushing him. Just kidding, people. We have 2 more movies left. We aren't stopping now. The Great White eats Finn, who eats a hammerhead, who eats progressively larger fish, shark, whatevers, until landing on the ground. While that's happening, April saves Gil and he runs up with a tiny little chainsaw, chops his way out, slowly encountering each member of the family. It's like a Russian nesting doll, honestly. Finn is barely alive and, dying. Just kidding! Finn didn't die. Everyone else we get, Ethan, Gemini, Matt, and Claudia are also okay, but Finn never dies. Then, oh my goodness, the Eiffel Tower crash lands next to the shepherds, and stepping up the frame is the one, the only, Nova. So, I think Aston actually survived, but it's not too important to the lore. Ooh, I hate to tell you guys this, but the plane seems to be going through a bit of turbulence, so please buckle your seatbelts. As we're about to go for Hey, are you okay? You got knocked out for a while there. Welcome to a random field in Wisconsin, and before you ask, I did crash the plane. Managed to drag you out of the plane, so technically you can't sue me for not having a pilot's license. Well, I mean, as we're now basically just sitting here, we might as well wait for the backup planes to arrive. And what's a better way to pass the time? The rest of my riveting story. So look on the display I managed to save on the flames and enjoy the rest of the tale. Guys, we have around 3 movies left, and yes, one of those movies happened to be Too Lava, Too Lantula, getting a 24% on basically any reviewing platform imaginable. Lucky for me, the plot for the movie should just be written down below the wiki. Oh, it's not there, is it? Well, there's no official plot synopsis, and I'm not going to watch it because I've already watched 6 Sharknado movies, so I really don't like this option, guys, but trust me. Hey, ChatGPT, I know you steal writings and don't give them credit or compensation, but just give me a quick, short, full plot synopsis of Lavalantula 2 for me to quickly put my 10-page long Sharknado video. Pretty please, I just want to get this video over with. I've been editing it for 3 weeks straight. Please, someone let me out this basement. Okay. Now, let me see if the AI... Yeah, no. AI cannot do that much manual labor. I still don't believe that people are saying AI is going to take over the world. Guess I'm going to do the voice acting myself. Give me a second, then. The story begins with Colton West, played by Steve Guttenberg, the washed-up action star from the first Lavalantula, trying to move on with his life. He's no longer a blockbuster hero, and instead doing low-budget commercials and living with his wife. Meanwhile, his estranged stepdaughter Raya is working as an assistant on a low-budget film shoot in Fort Lauderdale. Trouble erupts when a new swarm of lava-spewing tarantulas emerge from underground. Triggered by seismic activities in Florida, the fiery spiders attack the movie set where Raya is working, sending everyone into a panic. Colton, back in LA, is alerted to the chaos when Raya calls him. Determined to save her and redeem himself, Colton springs into action. Colton teams up with his old friend Marty and a ragtag group of allies, including Kyle, Raya's quirky friend, to confront the deadly arachnids. As the spiders wreak havoc across Florida, they discover that the outbreak is even worse than the last one. These new lavalantulas are larger, more aggressive, and breeding faster than before. In true B-movie fashion, Colton and his team face increasingly ridiculous challenges, from fighting spiders in crowded city streets to an over-the-top showdown at a theme park gator world. Along the way, Colton must prove himself to Raya, who harbours resentment over his past neglect. Despite the chaos, Colton uses his action hero instincts and over-the-top stunts to keep the group alive. The final showdown takes place as Colton devises a plan to use mass explosives to seal the lava fissure and cut off the spider's path to the surface. In a climactic and absurdly heroic moment, Colton sacrifices his prized movie memorabilia to create the explosion. With the fissure sealed and the lavalantulas destroyed, Colton reconciles with Raya and regains some of his self-worth. The film ends with a tongue-in-cheek nod to some more potential disasters, as a news report teases another strange phenomenon in a new location. Yes, I refuse to watch the movie. And yes, I did use ChatGPT in this video. It kind of balances out the 7 days I took to work on this script. Well, this is not a joke. I don't support the use of AI to do research or writing for you, including me. Including you, Apple Predictive Text Bar. Yeah, I've seen you and your lying ways. To be fair to me, the Apple Predictive Text Bar is a scam, and so is this number I've been constantly ringing to try and pick us up. Lucky for me and you, we have 2 more Sharknado movies to pass the time, so breathe in and out because it's time for a global Wait, hey, is that a tornado? Well, I can't imagine anything bad happening. Anyway, Sharknado 5, right? Global swarming. Sharknado 5 Global Swarming opens in a cave next to Stonehenge, where Finn and Nova are doing some expedition into the cave. As it said, an ancient shark artifact is hidden inside. They go through the Indiana Jones trials of sharks until they do the Indiana Jones boulder thing to get the essential gem, which is a large part of the last 2 movies. We find out Finn, April and Gil went on a trip to London, and you know what that means? Finn has to meet up with MI6, which for you stupid people is the UK Department of Foreign Intelligence, and that means he technically should be meeting up with MI15, the Department of Homeland Intelligence. That's just a minor mistake, who cares? Inside the MI16 building, they meet the inventor, Wallace. Odd name for an inventor. I swear I've heard that one before. Oh, wait. Anyway, so Wallace gives Gil a prototype helmet, which makes it so he cannot be harmed by sharks or the Nados. Anyway, back to Nova's subplot about this gem. Turns out her suspicions are correct, and the shark god, Dukawaqa, who I will talk about more at the end of the movie stuff, I promise, uses the gem to control the sharks to do his bidding. Even without it though, he summons a Sharknado above Stonehenge, heading directly for London, and head directly for where it does, destroying Tower Bridge, which is called London Bridge by the stupid American main characters, but whatever, I don't care. Then they jump in a helicopter to escape the tornado, crash landing outside Buckingham Palace. Nova is told to keep Gil safe, which she failed terribly, like, get good at your job, Nova. And then Finn goes to rescue the Queen. Finn rides down the sharks down the Buckingham Palace's steps, with the crown about to meet the Queen, when at the end of the steps the door fling open and... Hey, that's not the Queen, she's dead. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so what are the heroes gonna do that Nova just kind of let Finn's child go? Well, before they use the brain they haven't used in around 3 movies, they casually walk into a NATO meeting, and in Finn's speech to rally the small room of world leaders, which was shot definitely not inside of a New York apartment, he mentions how Aston Reynolds disappeared. And let's put this further along here, does MI6 have technology that repels sharks from gills? And why not give one to everyone or create large satellites out of the tech like Aston did? Is it the same technology? Probably not, as he has the whole team to use the tech, whereas MI16 doesn't have a whole team to run the one helmet, so it's up in the air. But let's just say that they could have stopped this Sharknado 5 from happening. Blame it on them, not me, or Asylum. Or April, Nova and Finn jump on the Hindenburg 3000 XP and crash it into Switzerland. Kinda want to skip over the boring parts. So they get teleported to Australia via a magic teleport beam in the middle of the Sharknado. April, who if you remember YouTube censorship gods, is a cyborg, got her body destroyed, so she needs to go to the Australian cyborg doctors to fix it. While April is being fixed, it comes out that Nova is actually the head of a sisterhood of sharks, and the whole goal is to destroy every shark ever. Anyway, this is an important plot point, as Gemini, a shepherd's life is at risk, and she is currently chasing the still technically alive radiation tornado and trying to quell it. Whoopsies. Anyways, April was fixed up with more pink, so the group decided to head to the Sydney Opera House, which is hiding a secret from you. It's actually a laser offense weapon. Yeah. Yes, what happens is obviously Tony Hawk on the roof skates to the control panel to turn on the lasers to destroy the sharks. Out of context, that would make all of the world of sense. Anyway, April and Finn stole the shark artifact that Nova had and then got teleported over to Brazil. And unfortunately, it gets worse. In Brazil, they're followed by someone. They go to a church to meet Vega, but when April sets down the artifact, an evil guy takes it. Well, Finn and April jump in the car when they are yet again tailed by the evil guy. Eventually, riding through a tornado landing in Rome, they face off with the person who was chasing them, but he dies, and then they get the stone back. They visit the Trevi Fountain and throw a coin over their shoulder, and then Finn gets kidnapped to meet the Pope. There's another notable movie where the main character meets the Pope, and that is the movie Cats, released in 2019 by Universal Studios, featuring Taylor Swift and Idris Elba. Yes, that Cats. Anyway.
Forgive me, Father, for I am Finn.
We're finally halfway through the movie, and that means it's time for Holy Chainsaw.
I'm not throwing away my shot!
The Holy Chainsaw from God obliterates any shark when it's convenient. Then again they teleport away to Japan, this time where the nuclear Sharknado mutated into a large Sharknado organism. It's a Godzilla joke. They're in Japan. It's a Godzilla Sharknado. And as obviously Finn can't defeat this one alone, actually, this time, the shark sisterhood jumps out from the sky in helicopters, and then they decide to throw bombs out of planes onto the Sharkzilla. One may call that insensitive, and that one person would be right. And then Nova dies, but off screen, so out of sight, out of mind, because Finn has a new calling, destroying Sharknadoes forever. What did they decide to do? Return the artifact back to Stonehenge, which seems like one of the most relatively smart places possible. If I was in Finn's shoes, the first thing I would have done was return the artifact back. But alas, if only simple things helped out Finn, as he gets taken to Egypt instead of Stonehenge. It's a classic mistake, really. Both are big monuments made out of stone from decently far away quarries, which may have been built by so-called aliens, which is just the way for the History Channel to disguise blatant racism against people who came earlier in the timeline. Anyway, in the Sphinx, they see a sculpture of a shark god, and Finn uses the gem to unlock a secret room in the Sphinx nobody noticed before. Inside the room is a machine used to harness the artifact's power and use it to destroy the Sharknado, and then as a climax, a massive Sharknado and tsunami comes towards the Sphinx, so they really harness the power, and while they accidentally summon a bunch of other Sharknadoes all over the world, don't worry, April makes a self-sacrifice, burning her batteries to create an energy field that destroys all the Sharknadoes, and then pushes back the Sharknado tsunami, destroying it. However, it ended up killing Robot April, leaving her as a disembodied head. Finn poses maniacally in front of the camera, and he zooms out on the destroyed Earth. It's only Finn and Robot April left. So what he does is just wanders across the world for a group of people for seemingly months. In Moscow, he meets a survivor, Gil, from 30 years in the future, who came to tell Finn there's only one way to save the world, to destroy the first Sharknado. Unlucky for Finn, Gil has been time hopping to help him out, giving Finn the wings with the mini time machine in. You know, the wings that killed April. And they make people travel time only if they hit 88 miles per hour on the dot. Otherwise, they're stuck in their place. And that is where Sharknado 5 ends off. Stop passing out with me. Are you naturally ill like that? Well, since you were awake, we made it back into the air. Unfortunately, not under my amazing wing, as always, but it's a flight from Wisconsin to New York City, so you should make it on time. Talking about time, Sharknado 6, It's About Time. Yeah, that's the name of the movie. I really don't want this video to end, as it's probably gonna be how I make all that money I spent on Tyler the Creator. And to be fair, no one's probably watching this late. I'll be honest, we still got so much more to go. I'm going cuckoo, people. Please, subscribe. Anyway, Dinosaurs steal the April robot's head, but luckily, the dinosaur is killed by a random person in a mask we have never seen before. Oh wait, who could have guessed? It's Nova. Yeah, you know why it's Nova? well, she died off screen, and so did regular April, and Fred, remember Fred? And they're all now with us, and just in the nick of time, the first Sharknado spawned in like GTA NPC. Watch that age, Polly, when GTA 6 releases with really smooth NPC spawns. April has a pet pterodactyl who deflects meteors away from the Goody Gang. Then the meteor destroys the Sharknado and they get transported forwards because of the pterodactyl. And as we all know, they are going back to the future, which would have been the past to them, so they get sent to the next logical place, medieval Europe, where we meet Morgana, who is the original goddess of fertility, especially in pagan religions. But in this one, she's evil, which may be part of her actual character, don't quote me on that one. Don't worry, Morgana is easily dispatched by being told off by the Queen or whoever, who decides to leave the Goody Gang to meet Merlin, who can help them out their predicament. Welcome back to the Sharknado Game Show. Today's question is, which person / character plays Merlin? A. Bill Nye the Science Guy. B. George. C. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Or D. Hatsune Miku? Well, the answer's C! Anyway, the shark reappears and we find out Morgana wants Excalibur. Then Morgana uses the potion to try and kill off the sharks, but ends up just turning them into dragons like... Bye! Everyone fights off the dragon sharks and then uses the cannibals to try and destroy the Sharknado. Finn then pulls Excalibur out the rock, and guess what Excalibur is? Well, it's a chainsaw. Now the main people jump in a bowl and get flung through the tornado, which makes them move fast, but not fast enough. So Neil deGrasse Tyson, aka Merlin, rides a pterodactyl to hit them to 88 miles per hour. And then they get sent to the Revolutionary War. In the Revolutionary War, they meet George Washington and Hamilton, and they have beef, which is not lore accurate. I watched the whole of Hamilton, and I know George Washington and Hamilton never had beef. Lucky. Fred is there, who can get Washington on their side. Yeah. Anyway, a Sharknado is speeding towards their side of the bank. Yes, Sharknado is coming, so Nova does the sensible idea of trying to rewrite history, so her granddad survives and she doesn't have shark-related trauma, which would make her character cease to exist as we know it. That isn't the most pressing issue. If you look at the list, the more pressing issue is the destruction of the concept or creation of America, due to Shark. Actually, never mind, they just fire cannons at it. Now it's time for them to move, but it seems like Fred wants to stay behind in revolutionary America to live history instead of teaching it, which seems against the idea that stopped Nova from giving that note to her grandpa, but whatever, because now they get cannoned into the Wild West. Probably my least favourite part of all these movies. However, I did like the Wild West part of the hit 2019 movies Cats, featuring Taylor Swift and Idris Elba, and because of that, I'm gonna speed through it because it doesn't compare. So they get captured by the sheriff, and in the prison they find Gil, who's being taken to hang. Finn escapes and stands off with the sheriff, who gets eaten by the sharks. Then Billy the Kid shows up and Finn duels him. And luckily a shark kills Billy, so Finn and co are finally able to go forward. Oh yeah, and this whole time Robot April has been barely working. Anyway, now they're in 1960s Santa Monica, California, where a Sharknado formed, which kind of ruins the immersion or believability that the 2013 Sharknado in Santa Monica was the first recorded Sharknado from that area, when there are literal cameras there. Plus, and here's a theory, Dukawaqa, can travel through space-time to summon Sharknadoes at any point in time that he wants. I'm so smart. Anyway, I digress. Then we meet Finn's dad and mum, one of which kind of looks like Billy Mays, who is advertising the Sharknado version 2000. Nova starts programming the time jumper for when they escape, which they do after Finn's parents kiss for the first time. Here
you go, son. Thanks, Dad. Daddy-o.
Whatever. Then they jump forwards to San Francisco Harbor in 1997. Nova hijacked the timeline to save her granddad. Not to spoil the moment, but it turns out it's all Nova's fault the boat crashes in the first point, so she blames herself and Nova, Aprilhead, and Robot April, and regular April, falls in the water and gets eaten by sharks, or at least the humans were, with only Finn and Sky, who was transported forwards in time. Then they get sent to a very industrialized place with electric grids everywhere. And I just realised how good I make these sets sound to audio listeners. After you look at this set, it kind of looks like they broke into an electricity plant. Finn gets kidnapped by an army of robot Aprils, who take him to the Queen, which is the robot head, robot head April. And the Queen has real April in stasis chamber, and also just carbonized the sky. Anyway, the only real villain in this series' evil plan is to take Finn's DNA to make robot clones of himself, so she can rule with a king. Except, she isn't the only villain, as I explain later on, because Dukawaqa is the best villain, okay? Anyway, Finn being the defiant king, he grabs the paper chainsaw, remember that, right? And then he uses it to open April's chamber where she distracts the Queen enough to let Finn escape via time travel to a boat off the coast of Mexico, where these three irrelevant people Captain Santiago, this guy, and the boatman. Santiago and the guy are bartering over the price of fish. Santiago says he should receive 1 million for the haul, as there was a massive storm, but he still did his job, whereas the other guy only wants to pay him 500,000. Then they fish up a robot head, April's robot head. Then the Sharknado from movie 1 appears to cause disruption, and Finn pretends Robot April's head is a bomb to stop people from taking it back to land. Then Gil appears magically, but it turns out it isn't Gil, it's the Queen who faked being Gil. The Queen and April fight over the time remote, which fully glitches out, summoning everyone from everywhere in a full fever dream scene. Then the robot April falls into the tornado, and the Queen is still fighting with Finn over the remote, and in the end, the Queen gets the remote. Oh wait, no! Robot head April just used her lasers to blow up the Queen, and then says to Finn, I have a self-destruct button, which can either reset the timeline or self-destruct the universe. So Finn takes a chance on me, and turns on the self-destruction button. It cuts to a scene in Finn's bar in the first movie with no Sharknado in this timeline. Nova doesn't have shark PTSD. Finn never broke up with April in the first place. Fred lives in LA, and then April goes into labour and is rushed to hospital. And here I wrote in my notes. This is what I said here. George grabs the bar stool and follows them. That guy, he isn't even related to them or friends with the family or providing a meaning. That was a joke that I wrote in the notes because I'm sure John Hurd was a lovely guy. Probably was in real life. This was a joke. I didn't know till I was searching the wiki article for Sharknado 6. Please don't cancel me. That George's actor's dead. It's just a critique of the character. There you go. After that revelation.
For your today weather, and this is one for the history books, if not a world record.
There's not a cloud or a storm on the horizon. So get out, enjoy some time with the family on this beautiful day. There won't be anything quite like it again.
Love is stronger than goodbye.
And then the video was supposed to end there, but then I had a long hard think about it, and I decided against ending the video there, as I still have 2 cents to put in the piggy bank. I want to mindlessly spout to you, who, in all honesty, is only here by accident. Why you forgot to click the remote off as it was locked in a box kept under your bed, and that means I'm going to yap about. Chat, I just wanted the excuse to yap about Dukawaqa. Here we go. Let me find. Okay, Dukawaqa isn't actually seen in the films, but he's probably the biggest villain, as he seemingly controls the sharks and the tornadoes. He comes from Fijian mythology, where he appears in 1 or 2 folk stories. One of such stories is Dukawaqa took his shark army to invade an island called Kadavu. The island's river goddess summoned an octopus, which whipped Dukawaqa into submission, and that's why he also protects that island now. I know a tiny bit about Fijian history, as I dedicated 6 months to uncovering an unknown civil war that didn't even have a Wikipedia page at the time. Link to that video in the description. Anyway, back to Sharknado. Dukawaqa has been the villain since Sharknado 3, where Nova mentions his godliness to Finn in a throwaway exchange. Sharknado 5, Dukawaqa from Sharknado lore, is immensely powerful. He can summon tornadoes and control them, then control sharks, then put time travel beams inside tornadoes, and use it to teleport people in space or time. He can move anywhere in the 4 directions, with him being imperceivable even by other 4D creatures like Morgana, or at least isn't noticed. You can tell Morgana is 4D as she can move through time by simply just disappearing. Dukawaqa has to be of a higher dimension, which I don't even know what D that would be. And finally, welcome to New York, the home of fun sequels like Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Spider-Man 2, Sharknado 2 now I come to think of it. And this video started in LA and ended in New York. It's almost as if it's setting up for...
There's not a cloud or a storm on the horizon. So get out, enjoy some time with the family on this beautiful day. There won't be anything quite like it again.
Love is stronger than goodbye.